Hello everybody, Image here, and here is a chess FPVOD. I've got the black pieces, and I'm playing against Bob JG, an American who is rated slightly higher than me in Blitz, though I haven't played Blitz in a while. I haven't played rated Blitz in a really long time, actually. So, I have no idea whether this is an accurate reflection of my rating anymore, of my playing skill, rather. We'll see. Anyway, I'm playing the Schliemann Gambit in the Ruy Lopez, or the Spanish game. It is a bit of a risky line, but not a bad one, I would say. I think I might have made a mistake there. I think I might have been meant to take the knight. Have to be wary of any queen h5s here. We have a pretty straightforward development plan. Which is going to basically be to recapture this f5 pawn. But my first order of business is actually to just simply castle as quickly as possible. Why is that? Because this pressure along the e-file that white can exert is pretty dangerous, and I don't want to have to put up with it. So he's threatening to just push d4, after which I simply have e takes d en passant. Queen takes. And I have some choices here. Either go for queen takes, either trade the queens off and then get that pawn, or I can go knight d5, c4. I don't get much out of that, so I guess I'll do the queen trade. And I can't grab this pawn right away because I have to deal with this bishop being under threat, so I'll drop it back here. So what's the situation for me? I've got a slightly compromised pawn structure, but I have the two bishops, and two bishops are better than a bishop and a knight in an endgame, generally speaking, as long as the position is reasonably open, which it looks like the endgame will be. So that is a bit of an advantage for me. And here, if white does decide to swap off my bishop, then I've actually managed to get rid of one of my positional weaknesses, which were the doubled pawns. And now it's basically white's kingside pawn majority of 3 to my 2 versus my queenside majority of 4 to his 3. So this is interesting. But now, how do I best put pressure on white? And where is he looking to go with this knight is another question. Let's get one of my rooks onto an open line. I'll just try to play some sound positional chess for now and sort out these tricky bits a little later. like to keep that knight that's now on d2 out of these squares, but making that push has weakened these squares. So I've got to be a bit delicate with how I play this. I think one reasonably playable way of doing this is to just swap off the knights here. Basically, I want to keep my rooks in control of that open line. And I am being offered an interesting choice. I'm being offered a pawn back in exchange for my bishop. And that is one that I'm going to take. I see no reason not to make this trade. The question is, do I take back to create a central passed pawn? Take back and get a central passer. It's not immediately clear how I'm going to make any progress with it. So I'm going to trade down some more. Since I'm still up a pawn, I'll just offer the trade of the rooks. And now I'll create the passed pawn. So that is my advantage. And now that pawn has been blockaded by white. And my king position is pretty awkward here. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get very much out of that at all. Try to get, I guess, as good of a king position as I can out of this. But now I realize the mistake I made, allowing him to just play rook f7, thereby leaving me kind of screwed. Definitely losing a pawn if that's what he decides to opt for. But he doesn't. So alright, here's where things are about to get crazy. We need to create some kind of breakthrough to get our pawns promoted. And who's going to get there first is a pretty important question. I do have the benefit of having started my pawns moving faster, but am I going to be able to promote first? See, it's going to take me 5 moves to promote. And it's going to take him more. So I will promote my pawn first. This is good. But after I promote the pawn, am I going to be able to stop him easily given my time constraints? Let's see, it is going to take him extra time because he's pushing the pawn that his king is in the way of. Alright, so I've got the queen, but now what? need to basically continually prevent him from promoting that pawn. How best to do that? I think the technique here is to just keep bringing my queen in closer to his king while continuously delivering check and trying to isolate him from that pawn. But have I got enough here? Don't know. I think this might be a draw. Check that out after the game is over. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a draw. Interesting. A draw. All right. Well, I hope you found that interesting. I certainly did. The queen versus pawn on the 7th is a really tricky endgame to deal with. If I had a win there, please let me know. I'd be really interested in knowing how to wrangle that, especially with my king in such an unbelievably awkward position, and especially with white not really giving me room to get my queen onto c8 where I wanted it to be. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. This has been Image's Chess FPVODs. This is Image signing out.